Okay. When when you see the on the air sign, you will be on the air, okay?
Okay.
You know where the timer is on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, I like that.
You're on the air.
Okay. Welcome to the Oracle of Enlightenment Vortex. I am the observer, Sal Monaco, along with Maria. Maria?
Hi.
How do you say your last name?
Elena.
Elena.
Maria Elena.
Maria Elena. And over there we have Anna Burka, as usual.
Hi.
And joining us for the first time in a while, the sensational one, Sherry Martell.
Sherilyn Heward. That's right. I am the sensational one.
And joining us by Zoom, of course, will be Jen, JT the Great, Big Mac, Brandon, M, and Rachel, Rose, and her daughter, Lena. And joining us for the first time ever on the show, and I'm very proud to say, Mr. David Kane. David, it is a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
For those who don't know, David was in the band Them Jazz Beards, who used to play out regularly around Buffalo
And
and
about
other
20
places.
others.
Yeah. And he's also provided the music for Offbeat Cinema for all the years. As people know, I did 80 episodes of Offbeat Cinema. And he's still to this day doing music for the show, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's great. So we're going to do our episode of the Mighty Beyond first, and then we're going to be doing a full interview with David. All right, is everybody ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Just let me call up the script here. Like I said, if the folks, unfortunately, there is a problem with the Zoom, so the people on Zoom are not visually here right now, but you'll still be able to hear them. Okay.
It's okay. I'm going bald anyway.
And here we go. The group are in the studio. Rhonda, Jason, Sammy, Alana, Blossom, Melanie, and Jolene, while Matt is in the booth.
Okay, let's give this idea a whirl and see if it works.
You do know that the Beat the Geeks hasn't been on for years.
So what? I think it will work. It was very cool.
My niece is right. It's perfect for our internet show.
My answer are the contestants. Rhonda is the host, and the rest of us are the geeks. I'm the gaming geek.
I'm the music geek.
Obviously, I'm the horror expert.
I'm definitely a Disney.
Okay, how have you two been?
We're doing fine, but I have to carry wet wipes because she's always getting dirty anywhere we go.
That's why.
It's good to be in the tune with Earth. It's called earthing, and it gives you energy that is revitalizing and rejuvenating.
That's my daughter. Big words and all.
Her black feet are so dirty, I can't tell if it's dirt or her shoes anymore.
It's a badge of courage. It shows my ability to commune with the Earth.
Are we sure she's only 8?
Yeah, but as we've said many times, she's an old soul.
Melissa enters.
Hey, folks, have you seen my brother Matt?
He's in the booth getting ready to start the broadcast.
Okay. Hey, hot stuff. How are you?
I'm great. We still on for Friday?
You bet. You just pay the cover and the drinks. So what are you guys doing?
Beat the Geeks game show.
Okay. Well, I'm no geek, but I might be able to help. I have a good memory, and Matt's always making me watch TV with him. I can be the sitcom geek.
Okay, I guess one extra geek won't matter. Okay, let's get started.
I get to sit next to Mr. Hotness.
Great. When does he get here?
Very funny.
Okay, let's get started. Go for it, Matt.
And it begins.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Channeling Dreams podcast. Today we will play the game show Beat the Geeks. Our two contestants are the Tyler sisters, Blossom and Jolene.
You're going down, sis.
In the words of Tom and Jerry, don't you believe it?
Okay, let's begin. We have 5 geeks tonight: movie, sitcom, horror, music, and Disney.
Plus, I'm here. Hi, folks.
Okay, this is a best of 7 questions. If it's a tie, sudden death. We did the coin toss, and Jolene, you go first. Who are you challenging?
I will challenge the movie geek.
The only idea worse than that would be Battleship Earth 2.
Ooh. So if you get the question right, you get a point. If you don't and the geek does, he gets a point. And if neither one of you gets it right, nobody gets any points.
I'm ready.
Okay. Question. Give 3 variations of the Rubik's Cube.
The Pocket Cube, Rubik's Revenge, and Rubik's World.
Correct. Geek?
Rubik's Race, Rubik's Peg Game, and Rubik's Miniature Cube.
Okay, that's also true. So this next question is based on who can hit the buzzer faster. Name 3 puzzles based on Rubik's.
Jolene gets it.
Pyraminx, Missing Link, and the Snake.
That is right. So contestants 1, geeks 0.
I challenge the sitcom geek.
Challenging me is a big laugh.
Let's give the full names of the 7 castaways on Gilligan's Island. Geek first.
Gilligan, the skipper or captain, Mr. Thurston Howell, the third, Miss Lovey Howell, the professor, Marianne Summers, and Ginger Grant.
I'm afraid that is not correct.
What?
You were right about Mr. Howell, Ginger, and Marianne, but the first mate is Willie Gilligan. The skipper is Jonas Grumsby. The professor is Roy Hinksley, and Mrs. Howell is Eunice Lovey Howell.
You are correct. You beat the geek. Next is Jolene. Pick your challenge.
I challenge the Disney geek.
You're going to be shut down like Splash Mountain.
Whoa, the trash talk is getting tough around here. Question. What was the first full-length animated feature film which was produced by Disney?
Sleeping Beauty.
That is incorrect. Geek?
It was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was the first ever animated featured film, and everyone told Walt Disney he was crazy because the children didn't have the attention span. Look at me, I don't even have the attention span.
That's true.
Okay, so contestants 2, geeks 1. Next, Blossom?
I challenge the music geek.
You're challenging me is as good an idea as some of Madonna's videos.
Whoa. The question is, which singer was responsible for the rock and roll wrestling connection?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Incorrect. Geek?
Cyndi Lauper. She's so wonderful.
Correct. The geeks tie it up. Now this next one will decide this portion of the game. Jolene, your turn.
I challenge the horror geek.
The only thing horrifying is you thinking you're going to beat me.
Okay. How many actors have played Jason in the Friday the 13th franchise?
8, not including the young Jasons, except the first one.
That is incorrect. Number 5 was not Jason. He was a killer pretending to be Jason.
That is correct. So the geeks win this round. Now the contestants must challenge the geeks, and they get to ask the questions. Best of 3. Blossom, go ahead.
I challenge the sitcom geek.
After you lose, you will be canceled. My question is, name 4 spin-offs of All in the Family.
The Jeffersons, Maude, Gloria, and Archie Bunker's Place.
Correct. You get another challenge.
I challenge the music geek.
That's as good an idea as a remote control reboot. My question is, name 3 of Madonna's videos that were not banned that were considered controversial.
Papa Don't Preach, Justify My Love, and Like a Prayer.
Nope. Justify My Love was banned? The answer was Open Your Heart.
Okay. Jolene, you have to win this or you guys are done. Challenge.
I challenge the Disney geek.
That will end up like the song of the South.
Oh, wow.
Question. Name 5 words from a spell from bed knobs and broomsticks.
Elbow, henbane, aconite, firefly, and light.
Wow, that's right.
Love that movie.
Okay, you move on to the final round where you have to beat each other. First one to get a question right wins. Blossom?
I challenge the horror geek.
This will go down as well as Jason Takes Manhattan. What is the name of Leatherface in a reboot?
Jebediah.
Nope. And that was the end of round 1. The reboot changed it to Thomas Hewitt.
Okay, so Jolene, if you get this one, you win. Movie geek.
This will be as good as Highlander 2. How many Karate Kid films were there?
3 with Ralph Macchio, 1 with Hilary Swank, and a reboot, so 5.
Jolene, you are our winner today. Thank you for watching, folks, and see you next time on Channeling Dreams podcast.
And that's the end. Great job, guys. Except Maria, somehow you butchered some of the names. It was Jonas Grumby.
Oh, no.
And it's Professor Roy Hinckley.
I am so sorry.
How dare you?
Other than that, everyone did a good job. All right. So let's start our interview with David. All right, David, now when did you start Dem Jazzbeards?
Jazzbeards, that would have been 89. 88 actually, but we put out our first release in 89, and I know that because I called it Them Jazzbeards 89.
Mm-hmm. And how many albums have you guys made over the years?
Jazzbeards put out 7
Wow, that's a lot.
cassettes and CDs.
Traditional.
CDs weren't around yet when we put the first one out.
Yeah, that's wild. Also, you've been doing the music for Offbeat Cinema since day one, right?
Yeah. Offbeat Cinema, we've had a great relationship with them. They decided that Jazzbeards would be very representative of the kind of mood they were trying to create for that show.
Yes. I did 80 episodes of that show, maybe a couple more, and I really enjoyed every time I was on the set.
Everyone there is just fabulous.
Yes. So, Brandon and Jen, you're the two music experts. What would you like to ask David?
What got you into music in the first place?
Seeing the Stones on Ed Sullivan.
I've been watching that.
When
You
they
gotta,
did,
go ahead.
yeah, seeing the Stones and Ed Sullivan probably when they were doing like Ruby Tuesday, Lady Jane, I Am Waiting, like the songs that weren't really rock songs. They're more the ones like with, like harpsichord and recorder and kind of their oddball sounds. But, yeah, they looked really cool. They had great clothes on, great haircuts, and were playing really interesting music.
Cool. Thank you.
Brandon?
Do you have a particular key that you guys write in?
No. I try to move it around.
Lots of keys, then. Rachel, do you have a question?
With Jazzbeards, I had a violin player and sax player, so I, maybe worked a little bit like with those instruments.
Wow. Yeah, and the music's always good.
How long have you been playing violin?
I don't play violin. I had a violin player.
Oh, okay.
He plays the keyboard. And that's your main instrument, right?
Yeah, piano and electronics. If it's okay, I'd like to run through a brief list of the bands that I have played with
Please do.
in the past 45 years.
Please do.
Okay, so we'll start in the 70s with Mask, Tree Lane, Trek with Quintronic, Stellabits, Alien Registration, Leash Laws, Doberman, Erectronics, Electroman, Nullstadt, Sinatra Test, Decay of Western Civilization, Double D, Jazzbeards, Headhunters, David Kane Quartet, David Kane with David Wasik and Greg Piontek, Impending Doom Theory, Major Progress Program, or MPP, with George Paleo, Mandate, and currently involved with Hearsay and Night Slaves.
That's a lot of bands. Brandon, have you heard of these bands?
There were a couple, yeah.
Yeah. John?
Yeah, I've heard of a couple. I was pretty impressed with a couple.
Yeah, I've only heard of them Jazzbeards, but I can geek out on everything except music. Do one of you girls want to ask a question, Maria?
Did you ever think about, maybe doing radio at some point, or?
What do you mean?
Well, just being like a disc jockey, just because they seem to tie hand in hand.
No, I don't like talking that much. So, no.
Yeah, that'll do it.
No, Jazzbeards was, completely instrumentals. All those releases, everything we did was instrumentals. So I'm better at saying things with music than
Gotcha.
verbally.
I see.
Gotcha.
See. Sherry?
You're more just a comment. I'm glad that you're here.
Thanks, my pleasure.
Anna?
Yes, you seem to have a very long and involved history in music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still going on. Let me tell you what happened when I got here today. I haven't been here in a long time. I used to come here a lot for a lot of different things, but it's been years, and I was just totally trusting my intuition on remembering how to get here, which house it was. So I did get here fine. I remembered South Ogden exit, and I don't even know the name of the street, but I knew it's the street like right at the exit. Turn left, and then Shanley. And in my head, I was totally convinced that it was 55 Shanley. So I parked in front of 55, got out of the car, walked right up to that house, up the driveway, opened the door.
Oh, boy.
Opened the side door, walked inside, up these little flight of stairs, and there's a guy standing there, and he looks at me and goes, "Oh, them Jazzbeards."
Wow.
Whoa.
And so,
Wow.
of course, I assumed I was at the right place.
Oh, no.
And I said, yeah, I'm here to do the show today with Sal. And he says, "Sal?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You must be thinking of the house that's 2 doors down."
Oh, how funny.
Wow.
And
How funny.
then all of a sudden his wife comes downstairs, and her name's Yvonne, and it turns out I know her too, and I had gone out to dinner with this couple once at some point.
Oh, my gosh.
So I completely walked into the wrong house, boldly went in.
Meant to be.
Luckily, they recognized me. I mean, this could have been one of those,
Yes.
getting shot in somebody's
Right.
house for, so I'm very happy with the way it turned out. And that I was
Nice.
able to be here as
Yeah.
part of the show today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay?
Rachel, do you and Lena have any other questions?
No. Just glad to have you on the show.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Lena, you should listen to some of his music. It's wonderful.
All
Lena
of
left
it's
to get back.
all of it's out there, like on YouTube or any of those major, listening venues, Spotify, blah blah blah.
Okay. Yeah. What'd you say, Rachel?
Oh, Lena just left because she was getting hungry. She went to go get a snack.
Okay. She did a great job.
Yes, she did.
She did.
All right, Jen,
But
do you have another question for David?
besides the Stones, who were some of your biggest influences when you were growing up?
Well, the whole British invasion was, pretty important stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's. I'm definitely not limiting it to the Stones or anything, but, it being, the Ed Sullivan Show, like one of the few places at that point in time to actually see what was going on in the music scene. And, other than that, there's just been, millions and millions of influences, and, there still are, I still listen to something that I've never heard before, and somehow it saturates itself,
Mm-hmm.
into the consciousness, so it's, music, traveling, reading, seeing movies, everything kind of turns out to be an influence.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm one of those bizarre people who pick up like any reference in one song to another song, like the melody or the rhythm or whatever.
Oh, cool.
And so I'm always looking for copyright infringement in different songs.
Well,
That's
you
why I
can't.
never wanted to be a musician myself. I mean, I'm a musician, I'm a singer, but
Yeah.
I'm not a composer so much.
There's such a limited amount of notes and chords, you can only make, so many,
Yep.
so many new, yeah, the same chord changes, right? I mean, that 1-4-5 thing, that like Louis Louis type thing.
Yep.
There's been how many millions of songs, like using
Yeah.
that format. Most every blues song has the same, basic chord progression.
Mhm.
So. Yeah, but it's kind of cool how every artist does something on top of that makes it unique and different from what the other person did.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
Brandon?
What's your favorite song to play?
My favorite song to play?
Yes.
All my bands have been original music bands, so I definitely don't have a favorite cover song to play or anything like that. And out of my own material, I like them all. So
Wow.
How many songs have you done?
I don't know.
Is it like in the 50 maybe?
No, it's probably more like 500 or
Oh.
Wow,
something like
that's
that.
impressive.
Yeah.
You've written 500 songs?
Wow, I didn't even think that
Wow.
was possible.
Yeah.
Well, you have been in this business since the 80s, right? So that
70s actually.
70s, even better. So yeah, like 500 songs. Wow. So how did you get hooked up with Offbeat Cinema?
Good question. I think we kind of walked in the same circles with but I can't remember the exact connection. But I certainly knew the people on it, and John and I had crossed paths on different occasions because he worked for like WKBW or something like that.
Channel
so,
7.
Or Channel 7. So, my bands would be on those TV shows that he was probably producing and stuff. So we probably got to know each other that way. But that's a good question as to how we actually made that first contact.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate saying that's a good question because I usually turn off interviews as soon as somebody says that because it's like that must be in how to have an interview 101, like the first thing, be sure to say, that's an excellent question.
Maria?
Is there a song probably, I don't know, that was like really, really hard to write? Or basically just the words just come to you? Or,
I don't write words.
Or the
well, that's,
she meant the notes.
well, sorry, no.
Where'd it come
I'm
from,
so
you
used to,
was saying?
What, Brandon?
The words don't come to you, is what you're saying.
No,
Just the
they do not.
melodies.
Yeah, no, I write the music, and I love having other than Jazzbeards, which was purely instrumental. Most of the other bands I've been involved with have been, collaborations between me writing music and a vocalist who writes, somebody who writes the words and the melodies.
Are you working on anything new?
What's that?
She
Are
asked.
you working on new?
She asked if you're working on anything new.
Yeah, always working on new stuff.
Now, is this stuff you're getting published or stuff just for Offbeat Cinema?
I'm still, I'm currently working with Night Slaves and with Hearsay, and we've been putting stuff out on YouTube and things like that.
I think it's best, folks, to just.
I think my last release was probably like roughly a year ago with Night Slaves. We put out a flexi disc. Anybody know what flexi discs are?
No.
Nope.
The disc that no, I have no idea.
Good guess. but
They
yeah.
used to,
heard of
flexi discs used to come in magazines.
Oh, okay.
They'd be like in the middle of a magazine.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Those little records that would open up and you'd put them on the record player.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember
Yeah.
those.
Oh my.
I got those when I was a kid.
Yeah. So
Oh wow.
our most recent release was a flexi, a Night Slaves.
I
2
didn't know they
songs.
still did those.
You can
Yeah.
still get those pressed. Yeah, they're very high quality, as long as you don't try to put too much on them.
Yeah. I remember I got a magic kit, and they had one of those in there to explain some of the rules to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one was from a few Halloweens ago. Night Slaves, we did a live soundtrack to a Japanese horror film,
Mm.
which, of course, A Page of Madness. What's the name of that film? It's really
Wow.
amazing, like maybe 1927 Japanese silent film that the whole thing pretty much took place in an insane asylum. So it was like, this is right up our alley, and so we did a live performance at Sportsman's to it, along with a friend of ours, Justin, who played drums for that, and it went so well that after that we decided to record a few tunes, a few of the ideas we had from that, and then we took our 2 favorite ones and put them on the flexi disc. So that was the most recent release, and before that would have been a Night Slaves as well. The last 2 Night Slaves releases were on vinyl.
Now, how often do you play out now?
I'm not playing out much these days.
Yeah. Because
By
Maria
choice.
and I saw you play at the NCCC.
Yeah, I'm doing like solo
Film festival.
solo things. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I've been doing that for a few years, and that's a fun one because they let me do whatever the heck I want to do, and so sometimes I guess I always lean in a direction of trying to make it like movie soundtrack-ish,
Mm-hmm.
since it's a film festival and all.
I've always had good experiences with NCCC.
Yeah, me too. I teach.
That's a fun film festival.
You teach?
I teach there.
They used to have a great convention, too. It's too bad it's not there anymore. Yeah. You teach there, huh?
I do some electronic music courses.
Brandon,
Do
you're
you know Dr. Carol Harris? She taught there for many years.
No, I don't. What department or?
Music theory she mostly taught.
What's the name, Carol?
Harris, Harris.
No, is she currently there?
No, she left probably about 10 years ago.
Okay, I think I've been there about like maybe 15 now. So our paths probably did cross at some point.
Probably.
well, that's
okay,
a nice
just
day
checking.
job. Brandon, you're the keyboard guy. How hard is it to put together electronic notes?
When did I become the keyboard guy? Did that just happen now?
About 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, I've never played keyboard ever.
Oh, really?
I have
Yeah.
9 years of keyboard lessons and I can't play a note. I even own a piano. Did you know that there's a piano in my dining room?
No, I didn't know that. Even when I lived there, I didn't know that. All right. Well, then, I thought you used the keyboard when you were DJing. I'm sorry, Brandon.
No, no. I play other people's stuff. Occasionally I'll play an original or two, but it's all pre-recorded.
I see. Okay. Well, David, how is it working with the electronic chords? I mean, is it hard to put together a song, or?
I mean, not
An
for me,
instrumental?
but I guess in the big picture, it's making it easier for people to make their own music. But then you get in, there's some forms of synthesis that, still are very difficult and confusing, and you need some kind of background working knowledge to produce a sound.
Yeah.
But, most keyboards today have, 10,000 presets on them, so all you got to do is hit a button and, it's going to come up with something cool.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Wow. Music is the media that I just don't know anything about, other than hearing the lyrics from them. I know nothing about chords or about musical notes or anything like that. Jen, you have a next question?
Can't think of anything offhand.
Brandon?
What's your favorite venue that you've performed at?
Well,
That's a good one.
certainly cannot narrow that down to one, but I think some of the really cool places that are operating right now would be Revolution Gallery, Mohawk, Sportsman's, The Cave, Bittersweet Lounge. I'm liking that place.
Didn't you play at the Trelf a few times?
Yeah, Trelf, sure, which, doesn't exist anymore, but that was a nice venue.
Yeah, it
There's
was.
like a lot of great venues that
I missed that place.
that don't exist anymore. So I was just trying to think of ones that actually do.
Well, Nietzsche still exists, right?
Nietzsche's, yeah, yeah. I guess going through a transition there.
Continental's gone.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
long gone.
And you
yeah.
mentioned that you liked performing there.
Continental was great. It brought everyone together. It's the nice thing about playing at the Continental. It just brought people from all walks of life, and everyone got along just fine. And it was a great era of original music in Buffalo. Everyone was doing original music, and everyone appreciated it. It was, really fun to see people like singing along with Buffalo bands, like knowing the words to those songs, like
Speaking of Buffalo
like
bands,
isn't a case now.
Yeah, I just found this out, and this was a super interesting thing. Robbie Takak from the Goo Goo Dolls.
I know Robbie.
Originally, he was the lead singer for the Goo Goo Dolls. I never knew that.
Yeah, he did most of the singing in the early days.
Wow.
And then Johnny Resnick was doing some stuff, and their manager was just like, "Hey, that's pretty good. You should do more of that." And then he took over.
Yeah.
Wow,
I had
that's
no
cool.
idea.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Oddly, Robbie was the assistant engineer on the first two Jazzbeard cassettes we put
Very
out.
nice.
Oh, nice.
That's
Oh,
pretty
wow,
awesome.
cool.
Robbie has, a long history in the music biz. Johnny was a bar back at the Continental. Yeah.
Now you mentioned earlier you have 7 albums that were made with them Jazzbeards.
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
Yeah. Are the
7 or 8.
Offbeat Cinema instrumentals on any of those, or?
Yeah, they are. Offbeat uses stuff from the entire, pretty much Jazzbeard's history. So
That's great. Wow.
Our tablet is dying.
they are at liberty to use what they want.
That's great. That's great.
Likely story, Rachel.
One of them was a movie soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
It would have
A
been a
tablet that
Shadow
Right.
Creature.
Oh wow, Rachel. Is Lena's there then?
Dina's right here.
Okay. Lena, do you have a question for David?
no.
No. Okay.
Hi.
Nobody can see. I don't think they can see you. They could just hear you.
Hi.
Hi.
My son Joseph popped in.
Okay. Hi, Joe.
Go, Joseph.
Joseph. Sorry.
We're gonna get cut off. We're gonna get cut off soon. The tablet's at 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens when Rachel turns the tablet off.
Well, Rachel, if we lose you, it's great having you on as always. Maria really missed you.
Yep. Nice to work with you again, Rachel.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do more.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely. Definitely. So will we be seeing you on the 4th of July or?
I think we're going to Six Flags if they do fireworks, because I'm not sure where we're doing fireworks yet.
Okay.
But that's our number one plan is Six Flags. If not, then we're gonna stay home and have a cookout.
Okay. So,
The fireworks.
Fireworks.
On July 4th.
yeah. Do you girls have any other questions for David?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So David, what do you like better, playing out or composing in studio?
Oh, my best moments are probably when I'm by myself creating new material is always good, and I like I really like rehearsals better than gigs.
Really?
Yeah, you know, 'cause gigs are like everyone's just trying to do the right thing, which is what they should be doing, you know, concentrating on what you're doing, you know, and playing the right parts and stuff like that. Where at rehearsals, you know, they're just like more relaxed and you're maybe paying more attention to what the other people are doing and, you know, getting that whole thing going, which I really like. And if you fuck something up, you do it again.
Oh, this is a family show. Watch it.
Sorry.
Lena, you didn't hear that, did you?
I think we lost them.
Oh, okay. Maybe just in
Time.
time.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I knew that.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you made a living as a musician for a few years, and then you went to selling music, musical instruments.
Yeah, I did. Right. You know, I had I worked at a place called Unistage that was a pretty famous, you know, music production, doing sound, lights, staging. In the 70s, you know, is when I started there, and then very early 80s, they opened a music store as well as the production part, and I was with Unistage like 20 years, yeah, so doing production, selling musical instruments, being a consultant, all that kind of stuff. It's a great gig.
That's great. Well, unfortunately, it's hard to make a living in the arts nowadays.
Pretty brutal, yeah.
Yeah.
Too sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Very
that I
sad.
assume that's true of all the arts. You know, I know, you know, musically it's just brutal. I mean, I thought, you know, wages are supposed to increase over time, and instead they've, you know, completely plummeted. So.
Yep. Everything else is going up, but not the wage.
Yep.
Yeah,
Every area.
I once worked at a TV station as a camera operator, and they wound up, and I was only part-time. I did it by the gig, and then they wound up replacing us with interns that they didn't have to pay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was a while ago. So I can imagine what it's like now. I mean, a lot of the people who worked on Offbeat Cinema at Channel 7 retired and were replaced by robot computers. So
Yeah.
Like it used to take 4 people to make an episode of Offbeat at Channel 7. Then near the end, it was just one person in the booth controlling the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I've seen a lot of changes from, the 70s till now. So
so you'd say Buffalo has always been a great music hub?
Buffalo has been a great music hub, yeah. I wish it, it got more, got the recognition it really deserves. It's a shame for some reason it doesn't. I don't know why that is.
Well, when did you come to Buffalo? You said for a while you were at different cities.
I was born in Buffalo and stuff like that at points. With my Truck with Quintronic project, we were based in New Hope, just outside of Philadelphia there. Solobits, we went to New York City for a while, did that. But, mostly I've been around here. I don't hate it around here. If I did, I would have gotten out.
Yeah, well, you're doing great here, so it's proof of what Buffalo
Sal, I
can be.
apologize, but I need to drop out.
And
Okay.
There's the, like John Waters says, if you're an artist, stay in your town, make it a better place.
Yeah. Jen, are you pulling... do you have any last-minute questions for David before you pull out?
Nope, it's been such a pleasure listening to you speak today, David. It's been
Thank you very
wonderful.
much. It was my pleasure to be here.
All right, have a good night, everyone.
Okay, you
Okay.
too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jen. Brandon, are you still there?
Yep.
Okay, because you're the last of the Zoomers, I guess.
Hi, Mr. Hotness.
Sherry wants to know when you're going to take her on a date. I'm like, that was
I'll have
the...
my people call her people.
Yeah, that was a script. Well, every show, we sometimes ask the actresses if they're doing anything outside beyond the mainstream. Maria?
Actually, no. I'm hoping I will have some projects in the near future. So,
Well, Anna?
Nothing at the moment. Last thing was Slap Street, but nothing
you know,
recent.
that was good.
Slap
Yeah.
Street? What was
Slap
that?
Street. It's a slap fighting movie.
Oh.
It was very good.
Yeah,
I got to go to one of the premieres. It was really well done.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. So David, how often...
You didn't ask me.
I already know you're not.
No, I actually had something.
Oh,
to
okay.
share.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My
My apologies.
I have auditioned for Law and Order SVU. They had a virtual casting call,
Yeah, I've heard
and
that.
I am just waiting to hear back.
Oh,
So
that is so cool. The Law and Order SVU?
Yes.
Wow,
Well,
good
if
for
If
you.
you get it, are they going to fly
Wow.
you in or
Yes,
what? Oh, they
yes.
are. Okay.
I have to go to New York City.
Okay.
How exciting.
Yes.
How exciting.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I hope you get it.
I hope so
Definitely.
too.
I
That is
just
awesome.
yeah, it is awesome. I just want to say that on a sad note, Sherry's grandfather, Murphy Toscano, passed away recently, and he was a very dear cousin of mine.
He was 100% Italian. His birth name was Onorfio Caruba Toscano.
It's great.
He legally changed his name to John O.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good, too.
Yeah. I have Italian roots, too, so.
He was 91. He just missed his 92nd birthday.
Bless him.
Yeah, and he
I remember you posted the obituary.
Yeah, Murph was an amazing man. How many children did he have again, including your mom?
7.
7, and grandchildren,
He
including
had
you.
He had 32 grandchildren
Oh,
and
wow.
24 great grandchildren and 1 great great grandchild.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Must have been expensive around Christmas.
Yeah.
Good thing he had
Wow.
money. He ran a
Whoa.
construction business, right?
Yes.
Now, was
he owned his own construction business and
Was he born in Italy then, or were his,
His
parents
parents
were
were
born
born
in
in
Italy? Okay.
When my mother passed away back in 1988, he was the first person at our house with a big, huge tray of cold cuts. Yeah, he was a great
Yeah.
man.
So-
Yes. So, David, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for sharing your stories.
Well, you're very
Yeah,
welcome.
if you have any other stories to share, let us know.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Oh, I'm happy I got to share my getting here story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty awesome that you actually
Wow.
knew them, though. Like,
yeah. I mean, really, what are the chances? You know, thank goodness. But
You're
what are
right.
the chances?
I remember when you played at the Offbeat Cinema book launch that with Greg's book, and that was a really great.
Yeah. That was nice. That was fun.
It was, yeah. So,
I'm sure I'll be out there again. So.
Yeah.
I'll
Do you
keep
like
you
playing
posted.
out, or do you do it?
I don't dislike it. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Brandon likes doing his DJing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next on the list, this weekend will be Nickel City Comic Con, and it'll be downtown at the convention center. It'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can get tickets online. Actually, a lot of people are eliminating pocket programs and just giving you a place to scan where you can get it. I thought that was interesting. I guess it saves on paper and saves a few trees. So yeah, it's Nickel City Comic Con. Just type that in on Google or on Facebook and you'll get it. And it's going to be a great convention. It has a lot of great guests, horror guests, wrestling guests, sci-fi guests. Michael Rooker's going to be there. Sting is going to be there. A lot of great people are going to be there, and I look forward to it. Taste of Buffalo will be coming up in about a week. It's not this weekend, but next weekend. 4th of July is coming up. I want to say this to everyone. Be safe. Keep an eye on your kids if there's fireworks around.
Careful with the pets.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, comfort your pet, right?
Yeah.
be careful if you're doing fireworks at home. I had a friend that used to do like big fireworks shows himself every year, and like
Oh, you mean
literally-
Lefty?
literally would almost blow his head off every time.
Oh
I'm
my
like, are you serious?
Yeah.
He used to scare the crap out of us.
Well, I recently.
One time, it almost blew up in his face. He couldn't hear for like a month. I'm like,
Thank
dude.
goodness his hearing came back.
Yeah.
Wow.
He stopped. This is the second year that he has not done anything. So we're
Wow.
like,
Yeah. And where can people see this movie that you're in? Slap.
It's not released yet. They only
Okay.
had the premiere so far.
Oh, okay.
Right.
What's it called again?
Slapped Straight.
Okay. David, how many movies have you done soundtrack for?
I've done. Well, ones that actually went places and had sound. Let's see. There were a couple Peter McGinnis films. 2 or 3 of those. There was Shadow Creature.
I remember that.
And then there's probably, I'm going to say, like 4 or 5 more.
You mentioned the Japanese one.
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, that was taking an existing film, silent film, and providing, so I guess that was sort of like doing
Silent
the soundtrack
film,
for it.
wow.
Yeah, really great movie if you ever get a chance. Page of Madness.
Yeah, that's great. Do you think silent films will ever come back?
I think it, be a nice outlet for musicians to
Yeah.
right?
perform to
Didn't
them.
they used to have musicians in the theaters playing during
Absolutely.
the film?
The
Sure.
organ and
Yeah. Or piano, or sure.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Oh, that was interesting.
Yep, I like soundtracks. I like doing soundtracks.
I'm sure.
Extended works like that are a lot of fun.
Mm. That's great. Yeah.
And you get to really branch off on, figuring out what kind of instrumentation you want to use for it, so it gets, a little more, gets pretty adventurous, the combinations you can put together.
That's great. So, speaking of movies, I've seen some interesting ones in the last few months. I want to start off with The Flash. Ezra Miller did everyone proud in the movie, and the appearance of certain people who I want to say spoiler alert, but I really shouldn't, because there's just so many surprises in this film, especially for someone who's a DC geek. Has anyone seen it?
No.
Not yet.
No?
No.
Okay. The same thing with Into the Spider-Verse 2. Not only, I mean, just putting all the spider characters together took about 4 years with this amazing animation. And there are just so many Easter eggs and things in this movie and twists and turns that it's just great. I mean, and there have been a lot of other, like, we're waiting for Indiana Jones to be released, I believe, sometime in the next week or so.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That looks
Yeah.
good.
This will be the fifth installment of the film series. Plus, there was a TV show called Young Indiana Jones that Harrison Ford did actually make some cameos in. So, what other film has anyone seen? Anything?
No, not in the theater. The only movies I've seen have been local. Slap Straight. It was probably. Yeah, I haven't seen any. The movies that are that have come out of Hollywood.
I've seen Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, how was
How
that?
was that? That looked
It was
good.
pretty good. It was pretty good. It was decent.
The Evil Dead series is a great series, and this is the first one without Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then I just recently seen The Boogeyman.
Yeah, how was that?
I was terrified, so fantastic job. Like, literally terrified.
Cool.
Wow, that's a good movie. If
Keep in mind, she
Tell you
worked
can-
in a haunted house.
Yeah, but I don't like scary stuff. My daughter drags me to these things
Then why did you work in a haunted house?
to overcome certain fears. Like, I was afraid of clowns, so I
Cool.
purposely worked in clown house. So, like, yeah, like, I figured if you're afraid of them, be them.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Yeah. Nothing to do with Blue working there, right?
well, yeah. And my ex was the boss of that house, so, I mean, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Scandinavian crime series things on Netflix, and they've actually been very good.
Wow. Netflix has provided a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
I
I've
have
been
to
going there
say.
lately, and because there's usually a little bit of like maybe like Nordic mythology kind of like thrown in, and
Yeah.
yeah, they're a lot more adventurous than
Mm.
your average Law and Orders and things like that.
Yeah,
So.
I've been watching Emily in Paris, and the third season. It is a very good show, especially the way they spotlight things in Paris.
What is that about?
It's basically about an American girl who gets sent to Paris for her work and has to adjust to the culture and dealing with the business, dealing with her coworkers, dealing with the fact that she seems to fall in love with every Frenchman that comes along. A lot of love triangle stuff. But no, it's a very good streaming show. I mean, it's only, these streaming shows only provide like 10 episodes, sometimes less. But I'm very happy to announce that School Spirits has been renewed for another season. We're getting another season of Cobra Kai, which is a great show. And Superman and Lois have been renewed. Unfortunately, Gotham Knights has not been renewed, but there's a possibility it might come back on a streaming service. CW has really dropped the ball lately with their superhero stuff. But that could be a whole show in itself. Star Trek Prodigy finished up its first season, and unfortunately it has been canceled. But they're trying. They are making a second season, so they're going to try to shop it somewhere else, which kind of sucks because Paramount Plus had all the Star Trek shows and movies, and now it's canceled and they're removing it. And I'm like, it was canon. I mean, I know it was aimed at the Nickelodeon kids crowd, but it was canon, and it did have some really good stories. I mean, the people who wrote it knew the Star Trek universe, and it was a fascinating new take, so I don't understand why it didn't get renewed.
What's that? The Lower Decks?
No, Lower Decks has been renewed. Star Trek Prodigy. The one that starred Kate Mulgrew reprising her role as Captain Janeway.
Does anybody watch Black Mirror?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I just saw 3 episodes of it on Sunday, and it is a very strange anthology TV show.
So good. They're so I don't know, like you know, have on the cusp of like knowing exactly what's going on in today's world. You know, today Twilight Zones for today.
Yeah. But every time they revive Twilight Zone, it's worse than the last time. Same thing with the Muppets. I haven't seen... Now, granted, I have not seen the new Muppet show with the Electric Mayhem, but...
There's another Muppet show?
Yes.
Wow.
But every Muppet show that has been made since the original has been terrible.
I
Remember-
like the Muppet Babies.
Well, I
Didn't
wasn't
they have a television
including
series a
that
couple
one,
years
but
ago
Yeah.
with the Muppets? Didn't they have a
Yes.
television series?
That
and
was the soap opera.
It didn't last
lasted
very
one
long.
season. Trying to put them in a soap opera just was not interesting enough.
Yeah, because it was more for adult. I think
That was the plan. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And we had Muppets TV, Muppets Tonight. There was a show. There was a streaming show that was so terrible I stopped after one episode. And as far as the movies have all been good, but the best one has been the latest one, which was Muppets Most Wanted, which had the best feeling of the old TV series, but it was done by the same people in England that did the original TV series. And I think it being done in England back in the 70s is what made it so great, because we Americans can't seem to get it right with this show. So, you know, if you're going to reboot something, at least do it with the right feeling of, you know, what you're going to do. And David mentioned Black Mirror. That's just one of the many anthology shows for horror and science fiction that have been done over the years. And I kind of was hot and cold on Black Mirror. The first episode I watched was really good. The second one was mediocre, and the third one I did not like at all. So, David, do you have any other favorite TV shows besides Black Mirror?
Like I said, you know, right now I'm just into these Scandinavian crime shows. They've been really good.
That's something Richard probably watches.
There was a German one, Babylon Berlin, that was really good too. But yeah, I'm just finding those are nice distractions in the evening.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I also saw the movie Missing. That was pretty good.
Was it?
Yes.
I don't think I got a chance to see it. Is it still in the theater?
Well, no, now it's actually on. I forgot what streaming service, but it's on one of them.
Okay.
But it was actually really good. It was just very tech savvy. So like, if you're not like into that kind of thing, then it might be kind of hard to follow. But it was because like the girl that's looking for her mother is like a tech savvy. And so it's like a lot of.
I think I have seen that film.
Very good
Now that
though.
I
I
think
thought
about
it was
it.
very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was.
There were like at least 3 twists in the movie that just had my jaw like drop. Like really, like it was great.
Yeah, I do remember now.
I think the last movie I saw might have been that who did the one Up? Was it
Disney?
No, not that. Jordan Peele or one of those guys.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh.
Nope. Okay.
That was
I
it.
did not hear good things about that film.
I liked it.
Okay. Well, we only have less than a minute, so I want to thank David Kane of Dem Jazz Beards and Offbeat Cinema.
thank you for
joining
coming.
us.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks
very much for
having
being
me
here.
on the show.
Yes, we've known each other since the 90s, and it's about time I finally had him on the show. And of course, the rest of our team, Maria,
Thank you.
Sherry,
Bye.
Anna,
Bye, thanks.
Thank you.
Brandon,
Yo.
and of course, Rachel, Lena, and John. And of course, the man behind the scenes, Richard Wicca.
Yay, Richard.
Yay.
So,
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
and he's gotten the curtain up too. All right, so for the Oracle of Enlightenment Vortex, this is the Observer, Sal Monaco, saying, "Have a safe 4th of July, everyone.
Good night.
Good night."